Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another discussion video. This time we're going to talk about the products that Bandai has been releasing lately. They've been doing a very good job, and this is actually a really good thing for the game. So in this video, I'm going to basically go over what the products have been, why they've been so good, and why it's good for the game. Whether you're a new player, this is a great entry point for you. Whether you're a veteran player, still a great product, and this is what we want to see more of. Obviously, you see the draft box on screen. I'll explain once we get into it. But guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Want to get involved in the Dragon Ball Super community, make sure to check out the Discord in the description below. Number 3, the Patreon in the description below. Lots of competitive content there. Also, the affiliate links in the description below with TCG Player and Bearded Collectibles for all your Dragon Ball Super needs. And finally, guys, there is the join button down below, which allows you to join the YouTube channel membership program. All that stuff really helps the channel out a lot, guys. With that being said, we'll get right into this video. So, like I said, Bandai has been doing a great job with product recently, and I want to preface this by telling you guys about how they used to do product and how it wasn't all that great. So what it was for the longest time, all the way through like set 6, even a little bit of set 7, kind of, they've very slowly been starting to change this. So what's been happening is, especially back in like set 4, think about a card like Intensifying Power Trunks, right? That card was one of the first of its kind, a 1-drop that attacked, took a life, so helped yourself awaken when self-awaken was kind of rare, had critical, and it was a 15k 1-drop, right? Super strong card. And the crazy thing about that was it was an uncommon. It wasn't a high rarity card. It wasn't a rare, wasn't a super rare, wasn't an SPR. That was crazy. And in that set, there were some pretty decent SRs. We had Bardock the Progenitor as one of them, but for the most part, a lot of them were unplayable. And like I said, the trend has slowly changed over time. Back in set 1, we had really bad SRs like God Break Goku, which I don't know why they put that in this draft box, but that's besides the point. So over time, they've kind of been changing this thing where they are making the better cards more high rarity. And while that might sound annoying for some of you guys listening out there, that's actually a really good thing for the game. So if we look at the draft box, a lot of people had complaints about it because the cards are very expensive to get, but there's two sides to this coin. There's two sides. One side is, well, you know, I want to buy product and I want to be able to either break even on it or plus off of it by trading or selling, whatever the case may be. And the draft box is a very good product for that. The other side of the coin is, well, if everything's too expensive, I can't afford to play the game, this, that, and third. For the longest time, the game has been super affordable. Like, you know, the most competitive decks you can even build for under $100 if you're not trying to completely rarity bump the entire thing. As time has gone on a little bit, though, now you need cards like Ultra Instinct Goku, you need cards like Raiders Warcry Bardock. They are more on the expensive side, and that is unfortunate for some players. You don't need those cards to compete in the meta per se, but it is good for the game. So let me explain. So draft box is one of the first investments that players make into this game that there is a pretty good chance you're going to crack something in your draft box that is going to at least get, like, you know, a fourth or a third or half your money back, whether you pull Ultra Instinct Goku, Gallic Cannon, Raiders Warcry, things like that, right? That is a good thing for players. Now, what happens is, you know, at first draft box came out, everyone really complained about it, but as time went on and as we saw these cards performing in the metagame, sales of the draft box, I'm sure, have gone up and more supply has been available. If you guys are in the auction groups or the buy and sell groups, you'll see cards from the draft box all the time. People are just buying more and more of this product, and that's a really good thing. That means that Bandai's sales are going up. And guys, we love this game. We want this game to continue to grow. So two things there. One, support your LGS. Make sure you do buy from there, but if that's not a possibility, you can always use my link to TCG Player in the description below. Just a quick shameless plug. But of course, always support your local game store. Really important. Second thing, like I said, as sales are going up, that's a good thing. That means the longevity of the game is basically secure. If Bandai is selling product, because at the end of the day, they are a business, they need to sell product and make money. If they are selling product and making money, this game will continue to thrive and grow. You know, we don't want to stay stagnant either. Even if product is doing okay, that's not necessarily what we want. We want this game to prosper, grow, keep on growing. So the draft box is a really good example of that. Now, a few things about the draft box. It's not the perfect product. The MSRP could come down a little bit. I really don't think it should have been more expensive than an actual booster box. The only different thing you get out of the draft box is the promo leader, and the promo leader is not worth the extra like $20 to $10 that they put on top of this draft box. The MSRP could have came down a little bit. The other thing I want to say about the draft box as well is that the reprints, especially the SRs and rares, you know, think of Fearless Pan, Adult Cost Vegeta, God Break Goku. Man, opening a pack of draft box 4 and pulling God Break Goku it's honestly defeating. Like it's a really bad feeling. So in the future, what I hope they do is, you know, those types of reprints that they want to give for the players, degrade the rarities, bring them down to either the uncommon level, bring them down to the rare level. Things like that wouldn't be so bad. It would give players more opportunity to pull more SRs from the draft box. And, you know, maybe Ultra Instinct would have been a little bit cheaper. Maybe Raiders Warcry would have been a little bit cheaper if they had done that. But I digress. It still would have been like probably, you know, $20-$30 cards, which that's a good price point for a card that's that good. Raiders Warcry is an insane card. Ultra Instinct's an insane card. They really shouldn't be, you know, $3-4 super rares. That's not good for the economy of the game. You know, the secondary market, it does serve a role in the game and in the community for players to, you know, make a return on their investment. You know, if you went to locals every single week and won packs and just, you know, we're throwing money away, as fun as it is to play this game, you know, you want your trade binder to have some value in it, right? You don't want your trade binder to just sit there, collect dust, and not be able to move things to get cards, because one of the most important things of trading is it's how people get cards without, you know, paying extra money on top. So you do want your trade binder to accrue value. You do want to go to tournaments and pull pretty decent cards. So this is a very good example of the upward trend that I think Bandai is making with their products. So we'll go over to the Magnificent Collection decks. These things, really hard to fault anything about these decks. This is really a home run for Bandai. So of course there's the Magnificent deck, Forsaken Warrior, and Fusion Hero, the one featuring Broly, the one featuring Gogeta respectively. These things are really amazing, like perfect entry point for new players. So you know, this is a great thing for new players. It's a $40 investment and you get a competitive deck basically out of the box. Now of course this is not like a winning list of a Height of Mastery deck, but it's pretty darn close. It's really good. You know, Pokemon does a similar thing where they actually print the world's winner deck, I believe, or maybe like the Nationals winner deck, and they print it for new players. Now the weird thing they do is they don't make it actually tournament legal. You actually have to go out and then buy the cards again if you decide you want to play the deck or something like that. But this is actually a really good middle ground for that. This is actually a very strong competitive meta deck that you can get as a new player for $40. Great investment, and the promos are great as well. This is also a good product for new players, or sorry, for veteran players, because you do get the cool reprints and you get the promo cards that are very good. And the $40 price tag, in my opinion, pretty warranted, especially for all the cards you get. You know, you get a Height of Mastery SR as a reprint. You get a lot of really good reprints. So what I actually did for this video too is I constructed a deck out of just one Broly Magnificent deck. So if you buy one deck for $40, you can build this, which in my opinion is probably the best way to do it right out of the box. Again, great investment for new players. I cut some of the fat, so to speak, off of the just reprint deck, and I included some of the promos you get. So if you buy one $40 Magnificent deck, you will get this entire deck list right here. So, you know, you have a great reprint like Further Instruction Champa. It's an excellent staple card. Broly, one of the best leaders in the game. We all know that. This thing has won a countless number of events. There are other reprints that are non-yellow. You have Surprise Attack Frieza. Pretty solid staple, and if you don't have a locals to get a BCC promo, this is a really good way to get it. And the overall lineup is really good too. Dimensional Banisher Fu and Scientist Fu, two really strong cards for this deck. You know, we've seen Height of Mastery lists that have main deck 3 Banisher Fu. Scientist Fu is a good alternative to Mirror Creator Absorbed. They could have reprinted that one in this set, but they chose not to for whatever reason. Scientist Fu is still a very good alternative to that. You know, dropping out the Broly leader, swinging with it, restanding it. That's two really pressuring swings. Now on top of that, we have the lineage package. So successor, we have your Intrepid Gohans. We have only 2 of the Dynasty Goku, which I would have liked to see a little more of because it gives you that aggro push. And then you have the Adoptive Father, obviously. Then you have you know, the rest of your lineage engine with the Height of Mastery on top. So really good reprints for that whole lineup. The rest of the deck includes 3 Crusher Balls, which if you can get your hands on a Cold Bloodlust, you know, someone at locals that has the common should be able to just throw it at you. And then you have the Broly engine here, the little 8-card Broly engine. If you could get more of the Height of Mastery cards, if you can get more lineage cards like Source of Power Son Goku, extra dependable Dynasty Gokus, maybe Gin here to support, I would probably trim these as well. But as far as it goes, just outside the box, this is a really solid deck for a beginner player, which is amazing. Also, just included 2 of the promos. Paragus the Forebearer. If you can get 2 more of this, incredible. Automatic include for Broly. It just cycles through the deck really strong. And then I included 2 Frieza Spiteful Strike because I didn't want to play the Explosive Spirits out of the reprint deck. This card's a little more flexible, just negating effects to potentially, you know, remove them from the board or what have you. So looking forward from this home run of a product, I want to talk about set 8. So one of the things I really like they're doing in set 8 is they're doing SPRs of rares and lower rarity cards, which is really, really cool. Like all the 1-drop counterplays for each color, it seems like, are getting SPR treatment, which is really awesome to see. Like this is just another good idea that Bandai is pushing forward, because like I said before, if you're gonna make a really good card a low rarity, like these counterplays, I don't remember if they're rares or uncommons, but I know they're definitely not SRs. So if you do that and you add a rarity bump to them, you're increasing demand for sealed product, which is really, really good for the game. Again, we want those sales to drive up, and in my opinion, if you do want to rarity bump your whole deck, if you do want to be a rarity fiend, I do believe you should have to pay for it to a degree, because no one's telling you have to play an all foil deck, you know, and I'm a very guilty offender of this. You know, if I do a profile on the channel with IRL cards, you'll see they're typically very, very foily, and I don't mind paying for that because I want the cards to be foily. I don't have to have them foily. That's not a given right. It's more of like a privilege if you can get there. So I do like this. Again, another really good idea. I think Bandai is really revving it up with their product releases lately. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know it's not affordable for everyone. I know that not everything is to everyone's liking, but I do think they've spaced out product a really good amount. They're doing a good job. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.